Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that really makes you think about trust, love, and what happens when it all falls apart. It's a story about a man named David, whose world was turned upside down by a single accidental glance at his wife Sarah's phone. David and Sarah had what everyone thought was the perfect marriage. They'd been together since college, nearly a decade of shared dreams, inside jokes, and building a life together. From the outside, they were the couple everyone wanted to be. They had a beautiful home, successful careers, and a love that seemed unshakable. David believed they had a bond that could withstand anything. He trusted Sarah completely, never once feeling the need to question her loyalty. He thought their future was a bright, straight road they would walk together, hand in hand, forever. But as he would soon learn, sometimes the things you believe in the most are the most fragile. It all happened on a quiet Tuesday evening. Just a normal night, or so it seemed. David was on the couch, scrolling through a movie list, while Sarah was in the kitchen getting them some snacks. Her phone, which she'd left on the coffee table, suddenly lit up. A message popped up on the lock screen. David wasn't trying to pry. His eyes just naturally fell on it. The name on the screen wasn't one he recognized. It was just M. And the message preview was chilling. It said, "Can't stop thinking about last night. You were incredible." For a moment, David's brain refused to process what he was seeing. It felt like a scene from a movie, not his own life. M? Last night? His heart started pounding in his chest, a heavy, painful thud against his ribs. Sarah had told him she was out with her friends from work last night. A girls' night, she'd called it. He'd kissed her goodbye, told her to have fun, and hadn't thought twice about it. Now this single message painted a completely different, horrifying picture. Could it be a mistake? A misunderstanding? He desperately wanted to believe that, but a cold dread began to seep into his soul. When Sarah walked back into the living room, smiling and holding a bowl of popcorn, David felt like he was looking at a stranger. He tried to act normal, but the words from the screen were burned into his mind. The air in the room, once filled with comfort and familiarity, now felt thick with unspoken secrets. He couldn't bring himself to ask her about it right then and there. The fear of what she might say, the fear of confirming his worst nightmare, was paralyzing. He just stared at the TV, the movie forgotten, his mind racing through every possible explanation, each one more painful than the last. That night, lying in bed next to her, sleep was impossible. Every time she moved, he flinched. The trust that had been the foundation of their entire relationship had been shattered by a few simple words on a screen. Over the next few days, David lived in a state of suspended agony. He started noticing things he'd been blind to before. The way Sarah would quickly angle her phone away from him, her late-night, work emergencies, the vague answers she'd give when he asked about her day. Each small detail was like another piece of a puzzle he never wanted to solve. The happy home they had built now felt like a stage, and they were both just actors playing their parts. The weight of his suspicion was crushing, but the fear of confrontation kept him silent. He loved her, or at least, he loved the woman he thought she was. He wasn't ready to lose that, even if it was just an illusion. He decided he couldn't live in this limbo any longer. He needed proof, something concrete to confirm or deny the tornado of thoughts in his head. One afternoon, when Sarah was in the shower, he did something he never thought he would do. His hands trembled as he picked up her phone. He felt like a traitor, but he knew he had to know the truth. Her password, ironically, was their anniversary. With a deep breath, he unlocked it. What he found was a complete demolition of his world. It wasn't just one message. It was hundreds. A whole conversation thread with M, whose name was Mark, a colleague from her new project. He saw pictures, plans for secret meetups, and intimate messages that detailed a passionate affair that had been going on for months. They talked about him, about David. They called him predictable and clueless. Every word was a dagger to his heart. The woman he loved, the woman he had shared his soul with, had been laughing at him behind his back. The pain was indescribable, a physical ache that spread from his chest throughout his entire body. He felt foolish, naive, and utterly broken. In that moment, something inside David shifted. The overwhelming sadness began to mix with a cold, clear anger. But it wasn't a loud, explosive anger. It was a quiet, resolute calm. He didn't storm into the bathroom and scream at her. He didn't throw the phone against the wall. He carefully placed it back where he found it, his mind working with a clarity he hadn't felt in weeks. He knew what he had to do. He wasn't going to play the role of the weeping, heartbroken husband. He deserved more than that. He was going to handle this with the dignity she had denied him. He spent the rest of the day in a haze, but a purposeful one. He made a quiet phone call to a lawyer. He logged into their joint bank account and methodically transferred half of the savings into a new personal account. He packed a single bag with his essentials, not his entire life, just enough to start over. He moved with a chilling efficiency, a man on a mission. Every action was precise, deliberate. He was reclaiming his power, one quiet step at a time. This wasn't about revenge, it was about self-preservation. It was about choosing himself. That evening, when Sarah came downstairs, she found David sitting on the sofa, his bag at his feet. There were no tears in his eyes, no rage in his voice. There was just an unnerving stillness about him. She asked him what was wrong, why he had a bag packed. He looked at her, his gaze steady and unwavering. He didn't scream, he didn't accuse, he didn't even raise his voice. He simply said, "Sarah, I know about Mark." The color drained from her face. Her confident smile vanished, replaced by panic. She started to stammer, to deny it, but he held up a hand to stop her. "Don't," he said, his voice low and firm. "I don't want to hear the lies. I don't want the excuses. I don't want the drama. I just want you to know that we are done." She started to cry then, pleading with him, saying it was a mistake, that she loved him. But her words were hollow. The man who would have once done anything to stop her tears now looked at her with an empty sort of pity. "The person you loved," he said calmly, "was someone you could lie to. Someone you thought was predictable and clueless. That person is gone." He stood up, picked up his bag, and walked towards the door. He didn't look back. At the door he paused and said one last thing, not to her, but for himself. "I wish you the best, Sarah. I truly hope you find what you're looking for. But my future, my happiness, that's no longer your concern." And with that, he walked out. He closed the door quietly behind him, leaving behind the life that had been built on a foundation of lies. The finality of that click echoed in the silent house. It wasn't a dramatic slamming door exit. It was a quiet, powerful departure. It was the sound of a man choosing his own worth over a broken love. It was the sound of a new beginning. This story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to walk away quietly, not with rage, but with the calm confidence that you deserve better. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this time with me. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you in the next video.